Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out VeChain's price chart. And as you can see, in the last couple of hours, seems like that we are having a decent pump. Now, let me be very clear. This is actually going to be a bit of a long video because I'm going to talk about what is going on in this area and what is it that I need to see in order for me to flip bullish and call this point our final low, or maybe even this point with a lot of confidence. But before we get into that, let me be very clear, I am absolutely 100% able to find the subwaves for this whole correction structure to complete and call this point our final low. So you see, I don't really have a problem in that area. And by the way, here is one example for you. You see, you can definitely say this is an ABC down in VeChain, followed by that an ABC on the upside, and maybe we are having in here another ABC down, which the subways for it are going to be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into a correction for wave B. Let's say WXY. We can have many different patterns, doesn't really matter, and then another 5 down into C. Now let's go on the live chart and count some waves. So here's the thing, I think there does exist a scenario which in it you might be able to say this is 1, this is 2, this is wave 3 to about this point, followed by possibly an A, B, C in form of a running flat into 4, another move down into wave 5 to about maybe here or here. I'm going to say preferably to about this point, followed by that. This can be some sort of an ABC, potentially, as you can see by the looks of it, can be an ABC zigzag up, and from this high you can say, look, this is 1, this is 2, and then wave 3 running flat into 4, another move down into wave 5, and well, on a higher degree, these absolutely can be the subwaves for another ABC. And what do you have overall in here? ABC down, ABC up, another ABC down. Well, okay, can this be just a beautiful looking WXY in form of a double zigzag? The answer, guess what, is absolutely yes. However, again, I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning of the video. My problem is not really that I cannot find the subwaves to work to about the lowest low in order for me to flip bullish. No, my problem specifically comes down to this structure off of the lowest low and the lack of a sense of urgency. You see, let's go around here. If you want to say that we're going to have our final low around this area in VeChain, okay, fair enough. Then off of the lowest low in here, show me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up in order for me to flip bullish. This specific structure is called an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, our wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, I think you know it. 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5, and for wave 2 and 4, we can have many different possibilities. It's not really that important. Let's say ABC into 4 and like a WXY into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. And by the way, I forgot to tell you this. You see, in terms of Elliott's waves, it's usually the case, doesn't really have to be, but it is usually the case that our wave 3 is going to actually be the biggest wave in this structure. Let's go now on the live chart and see what is happening. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about VeChain, we were, I think, around the highs, and the idea was that maybe this is going to be some sort of a correction up, and if we get another move down, it's not really going to be a bad sign at all, and I would at that point absolutely buy the dip. So what happened? We did get a move down. However, I'm going to be the first one to admit this, I actually expected stronger moves on the downside in VeChain, which, as you can see, so far at least, we're not really having that. So that's why I still haven't bought the dip. Let's just get that out of the way. Having said that, though, there is a chance that still the bottom is going to be in. And for example, here is how I can argue that. You see, you can say maybe this is a 5 wave down, maybe like a truncated wave on the downside, and in that case, well, okay, you should actually start counting waves from this point and not here. And even if you want to say, well, okay, this is the lowest slope, well, you know what, fair enough. Here is how I might be able to find the subwaves for a beautiful looking bullish setup. This can be 5 wave up into a wave 1, and then from this point, this can be ABC down, ABC on the upside, and a 5 wave impulsive structure down. So far we are having an ABC in form of an expanded flat followed by a correction up, and this can be another A, B, C down. So essentially you are having, excuse me, let's just real quick take this one, a W, X, Y in form of a flat and a zigzag to about this point. And please do not talk to me about this thing being a 5 wave. It absolutely, in my view, isn't. And odds are, again, this is just a correction structure. So if you insist on being bullish and call this point the end of your correction down on some higher degrees, fair enough. This is your best shot at finding a bullish setup. You can say this is 5 up into wave 1, this is WXY in form of a flat and a zigzag into wave 2, and this is the key point. Please pay attention. You see, in VeChain, if I want to be bullish and I want to say this scenario is happening, then okay, in the next let's say 48 to 72 hours, I need to see this move up accelerate big time. Okay, if I see that at that point, I think I might be able to tell you, look, this is our wave 3 followed by a correction for another move on the upside into wave 5. So let's just put it this way. If in the next 48 to 72 hours, we see, for example, a 2.5 to potentially even 2.6 cents VeChain, and who knows, maybe even during that process, we're going to go up real quick and take this important high about, let's say, 2.63 cents. You know what? Fair enough. That can be a great sign suggesting the bottom is in. And then again, we're just going to take every single thing step by step and see, for example, if this is a 5 wave after, what are we going to have? Well, maybe a bit of a pullback down. And this, trust me, can be a great long opportunity for you. So let's just have a quick conclusion and wrap up today's update. In VeChain, we are absolutely able to find the subwave to about the lowest low if you want to say that the bottom is in. However, just that is not really enough for us. We need to see also a very strong bounce back in form of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order for us to talk bullish with more confidence. And this is your best shot at finding a bullish candle. This can be a 1, 2, and in the short term, let's just take this one real quick, okay? This can another 1 and a 2, this time on a lower degree relative to this thing, and this move has to accelerate on the upside into wave 3 and 4 and 5. If I see this, great sign. In the next video, we are going to talk bullish with much more confidence. So for now, all eyes on the current move and see what are we going to do. On the other hand, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. If we end up having a correction, another small move up, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, okay, at that point, consider this whole thing as like an ABC flat structure, or maybe a WXY in form of a double zigzag, doesn't really matter. Generally some sort of a correction indicating we are going to at least have another move down, but that is probably going to be our last leg on the downside. So for now, all eyes on the current move and see where are we going to go. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in VeChain's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.